I'd like to bring out Tank Ball and her manager, Professor Tavia Osbey. Come on out. Okay, this was the moment that they gave away a Grammy to Tank Ball.
Thank you so much, Academy. Thank you so much. We are thanking the Bangas, and we want to thank our best friend Tavia, who is our manager as well. And we want to thank Verve Records and Tamara Joy and Robert Glasper and Q Million and James Poyser and Iman Omari and Austin Brown and Brian London. And, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I don't even much know who to thank no more.
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, God. And all the poets and all the spoken word artists that's in this category. And this is a win for poetry and poets everywhere, from the slam mics to the open mics to the Grammy stage. Thank you.
Woo!
And Amari for letting me do this. I love y'all. Thank you.
All right, so that was the moment of impact. Our own Tank Ball wins a Grammy. Tim Capel and I were there. We're so blessed to be right up front, seeing that moment and seeing that emotion and smile on your face. So just talk about that moment for you, what it was like to be out there and go and get that statue.
You wanted me to win. You were so encouraging from the moment that we decided that we wanted to go out for this. I do want to thank you for that. Lord, the dress was so tight I couldn't breathe. So it was so crazy to run to the stage. They called my name.
You were running.
I ran to the stage.
Just so you understand,
it's a
after
journey.
Like 30 to 60 seconds, they're playing music,
Yeah.
and if they don't see you, they're like, "Oh, I'll accept the Grammy on their behalf."
No, you're not.
And that's the Grammy.
So the moment they call out, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so we were just running to the stage because we really felt like we had such a limited time. And all the names of people that you worked with along the way are running through your head, especially if you don't have an actual thank you. Because I forgot my thank you. I had just wrote it. She kept saying, "Did you write your thank you? Did you?" But it seemed just so like presumptuous to write a thank you note or something.
It's an interesting point. Like, you want to be prepared, but you also want to feel the moment, right?
Yeah, you want to feel it, but I think it's best to be prepared.
So next time you win the Grammy, you're gonna have some.
I will have some. I'll pull it out my bra.
I love when they do that. That's kind of cool. Because it's not like those dresses have a lot of pockets, right?
They don't. Women love dresses
Right.
with pockets.
So here we have Aftermath, right? Tell us about your partner here on the left, because he's not with us tonight.
That's
the original
Norman.
Banga?
Yes, that's
And who is
Norman. That's Norman. Norman plays, he's just such a valuable member of the team because he plays all the instruments.
Okay.
And he always has been able to, he's probably the Banga that's changed out the most instruments in the band, like ever. Like drums or play keys or get on bass or get on guitar. So he's really been by my side so much, but he really let me take the wheel on this one.
And the gentleman in the blue jacket, who is that?
I just think that without Reed, just the whole chapter, just Lord Jesus help us. He just cares so much.
Right, so this gentleman is the guy responsible for me being here, whether you like it or not. It's an incredible story about him, which we really don't have time for, but he's been at the Grammys since he was literally pulled out of Memorial Hospital with his wife, who was a nurse at Memorial Hospital. If anybody's seen that TV show, 5 Days at Memorial, he spent 7 days at Memorial Hospital during Katrina. And he was a professor here who was on the search committee, and he said, "You should come down and take this job." And I was like, "No, it's not going to happen," but he's a convincing kind of guy. So he's here, and he runs the Grammys in LA, and he just got a great promotion to work with Todd and the advocacy group of more making sure that our musicians are taken care of as much as possible here, and the Grammys do a great job. So shout out to Reed Rick. Let's go over the people on the right side, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, you go back? Yeah, so that I know that's you, and I believe that's, who is that, Sheila E?
That's Sheila E.
Right.
That was her first Grammy, y'all, in all these years. Isn't that crazy? People tell us
things
like,
she never won a Grammy?
She had never won one. When people like, well deserved, it's about time. I'm like, about time? Y'all don't know what about time look like. Like, that's about time.
Wow, that's incredible. And then who else is in that photo? I don't know.
Jay Ivy, 2-time spoken word Grammy winner as well.
Nice. So that was fun. So afterwards, you were kind of backstage doing your thing.
Backstage is
I think we
different.
have a backstage video. Let's watch this for the first, what is it, 50 seconds we said?
I was gonna say, clean up your new Grammy, okay? For Best Spoken Word Poetry Album. I can tell you guys are in another place right now. Can you even describe how you're feeling right now?
I feel good. No, I feel good, man. It's amazing to set out to put something out to be meaningful and to get acknowledged and awarded. That's beautiful.
When we were here last year losing, and this category came up, I said, that's for me. That's the one. And I'm just so happy because it was,
You were right. You were right.
it's for us.
It was meant for this one. You know, the moment was for now.
It's crazy. We started in a poetry club. And we started at an open mic. And boom, poetry category. How full circle 15 years later.
Come on. I can tell you have a community of folks too who are cheering you on right now.
All right, that's great. So what's great about this moment is like, you literally, and this story is so beautiful. We did a whole hour on this forum, and you guys, for those who saw it, Tavia was literally a 911 operator who wanted, tell me when I get this wrong, went to see you do poetry slams, and loved you so much that she kept coming back and back, and you had the idea that you would have a poem written for your sister maybe, or this true facts, okay. And so basically, tell us what happens, how you come together at this point in a professional capacity.
Come on, G.
I sent her an inspiring quote after a year of sending quotes, and she answered back. And then she asked me to go to the movies, and we went, and she asked me if I knew how to cook.
Friend, you missing a spot.
What?
I had just quit IHOP that day.
Yeah.
Right? She always was sending quotes, and my phone was so old, it had to download the text message. So I was annoyed at her quotes. I'm like, damn, here go another one. I gotta download this quote. Well, that's how you know the phone was old. Download a text message.
Yeah.
And then, but this particular day, I needed that inspiring quote. And I said, girl, I really needed that. I said, I thank you. I said, would you like to go to the movies? She said, yeah. I said, do you know how to cook? She said, yeah. I said, you know how to cook crawfish pasta? She said, yeah. I said, you got cable? She said, yeah. I said, you got internet? She said, yeah. I said, it's fast? She said, yeah. I said, can I come over? I never left.
Yeah, we've been friends ever since. That's really how it went. We saw Coraline. This was in 2009.
I love Coraline.
So the next level of that, she would come out of her spoken word things, Tavia would be there, and people would be like, yo, Tank, how do I get in touch with you? She's like, that's my manager, talk to her.
I don't know why I was doing that. She wasn't my manager.
True facts or not? No, she wasn't.
No, I was saying
time,
that,
I
but
wasn't.
I don't know why I kept saying. I said, Tank, when the album coming out? I say, ask her. And she kept saying, we're gonna make it happen.
So you know what I call that? The most important thing in this business is called just showing up. Stanton Moore, when he spoke at Forum, was like, hey, come to my show, talk to me. I'll try to get you in the back door. Maybe you'll even sit in with me someday. And he kept saying, just show up. And that's how he got in the business. And Tavia didn't even think she wanted to be in the business. And then next thing you know, they're hanging, right? And they're hanging, and you need help at a certain point, right?
Yeah. But the reason I got into helping her was because like everybody around us was kind of trying to influence her to do what they thought she should do, and I just wanted to support what she wanted to do, and she wanted to do spoken word, so it's like, let's do a spoken word album, and that's what we did. We put out Tank's first spoken word album in 2010.
Random Me available only on Bandcamp.
Yes.
So 15 years later, you start, and you're an overnight success 15 years later as a spoken
overnight,
word artist,
yeah,
right?
totally, yep.
Because you won a Grammy, you'd be like, oh, wait, I heard a Tank at the Bangas. Oh, she do spoken word too? I love that shit. So it's fantastic. So I want to go back because there's another great story and show a quick piece of a video. You guys have all heard of Tiny Desk, right? So Tiny Desk got famous over COVID, but before that, it had been an amazing piece of 15-minute, for those who don't know, great content that was shot in the office of NPR in Washington, D.C. A guy named Bob Bolin would pick who he thought was cool, and then they started a contest. In the first year, a guy named Fantastic DeGrito from San Francisco, who's super dope, won it. I used him in a movie, and I love that guy. And then the next year came, and you guys had a business relationship at that point, and then you carry on with the story, how you thought that would be a good idea, but she wasn't in the mix yet.
So I was always a Tiny Desk fan, and I tried to get them to submit the year before, and they were not having it. They didn't want to be in a competition, which I understood, but I just felt like this would be a good platform for them. So the following year, I put it on the calendar like it was a show. She sent our wardrobe, and we went to Joseph S. Clark and filmed.
Is that a high school?
Yes.
So you set up a thing out of high school.
Yeah.
She not really knowing what she was doing, kind of?
Yeah, because we would go and perform for students all the time at that school, actually. She actually used to teach there. And that day we went, they dressed up as students. Did y'all have uniforms on? And we got a camera crew to come and...
No camera crew?
No, we got Gus. We got our friend Gus to come and set up.
Gus was the camera crew.
Gus was the camera crew. But it was with a professional camera, and we had the audio set up and everything. But that's not the video we used. We actually used a cell phone video. Yeah. So when
you submit this video into Tiny Desk in a world of how many entries? 6,000?
6,000. It
6,000
was the most
entries.
entrants they had
Right,
received.
so after Fantastic Negrito, it catches fire, and it's still not as popular as it is today, but it's an interesting thing. So they submit this video, and you win. Right?
Win. Yeah.
So anyway, this is the Tiny Desk. I'm going to show the first 2 minutes, and this has 14 million views over the last 7 years, so it's not like it's going away anytime soon. And this is Jelly Joseph on the left, who plays Galactic and is one of your best friends, I believe, right? And this is the Bangas, and you'll see Mr. Spence to the right. Albert in the back is also in a band right now with Alfred Banks. And called Sax Kicks Ass. That's excellent. So the vibe of this thing, and why I love the first 2 minutes, is like it captures you immediately, your spirit, which is what, when you spend any time with Tank, you'll see this woman has one of the most amazing spirits of anybody you'll ever be with in your life, and that's what that natural magnetism that makes a rock star is, it pervasive. So let's just watch a little bit.
I'm so nervous. Shake it out.
Give it up for Tank, baby. We can watch that all day.
Not me.
And why I love that clip is you think about spoken word and you put some tasty vibe music behind it. It's just,
They just like eating it up,
groove.
but
You
they
cannot-
don't know it's a poem.
It's a poem, but
It's always been
it's
in
a
the
groove.
work.
Right.
Yes.
So that was, and again, we could track your career, but you could also look it all up and watch all the stuff because we don't have too much time. But safe to say that was a great launch, and then you've just been rolling from there. You've been nominated for how many Grammys?
4 with Tank and the Bangas. She actually has a Grammy-winning certificate with Fantastic Negrito and John Baptiste for what she offered to their Grammy-winning albums.
Amazing. So give it up for Tank some more.
Thank you.
Can't get enough props.
Lots of certificates at the house. Lots of certificates.
She needed that statue for the
But
mantelpiece.
it's so good. So yes, I can't wait for that to come.
Speaking of that, we're going to find out where the Grammy lives in a second. So you went right from the Grammys, you came back, and then there was a little thing called Super Bowl. There was a bunch of stuff going on.
So busy.
Every corporation had an activation in town. Everybody was having a party. Crown Royal's back in the game, marketing. So tell me all the different things you did this past week.
Oh Lord.
Or you could
see.
you help. Because by the way,
you
she's
go
supposed to be on vocal rest because she did so much work over the last week. So we're gonna get one snippet of performance, but let's have you talk for her.
Okay, so she did the host welcome party,
Mardi Gras World.
the city party at Mardi Gras World, the Crown Royal party, Smirnoff and Glad party, Pepsi Nola Eats party. And she did a really cool gig with Ryan Tedder.
And John Baptiste, the Love Riot.
And she did the Love Riot with John Baptiste.
Which I heard was fantastic.
Yeah,
I wish
it
I
was
would've-
wonderful.
I wish I would have known about that in advance. That was a free show. All you had to do was sign up.
Honestly,
And it was a killer
I think
lineup.
more people should have even known about it, even though they had a great crowd out there. It was, I pulled up and just to be in Culver High School and it was a festival. It was like, wait, what? I was really surprised. I thought we were just gonna walk the streets and do a parade. Honestly, it was really dope.
Yeah. So and then our folks at Apple had a little thing down here, Zane and his crew, and you got on that one too. Let's see if that plays.
Talk about the Grammy win and how that has changed y'all.
The winner's circle is different.
It is, right?
It's different because when you lose, which we have, you know what I'm saying? You just walk out, you chill with your friends, you eat popcorn, and everybody dap each other up like, yeah, it's all right. But when you win, whoa, they whisk you all to the side, and there's private photographers, and everybody's handing you the Grammy, but with white gloves on. You can't touch it. And
They're chunky, right? They're chunky. They're heavy.
yeah, they heavy. They're not too heavy, but you don't hold on to it too long. The people that got 5 or 6 in their hand, oh my God, for you. Because just that one was it had this little head.
Talk about the Grammy win and how that has changed.
Yeah, 5. Kendrick holding 5 has a good picture in my head. So the mantelpiece, it's going up. You feel good? Keep it shiny already?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a little case.
Okay, so we're gonna get our guy Jordan Bush, one of our finest piano players out here. Where you
Hey,
at?
Jordan.
And we're gonna close with one of the pieces. It's the closing piece on your spoken word record.
yes.
And why did you decide to put this as your closer on the record?
It's just
Or tell us about the piece in general.
It's just so final because I am obviously from New Orleans, but I've never been stereotypical New Orleans. I'm not at the second lines all the time, and I'm not at the hole in the walls, and I'm not at the brass parties or just as traditional as they like to think that we are, because we have a traditional side to us. We really do. But there's the underground of it too, the underbelly of the open mics and the poets and the true community workers that do work every day, and the people that just be on the corner selling char grilled and troubled oysters. It's just something that just keep the city rolling all the time. And I like to feel like I'm a part of that in my own way.
And I think the storytelling, obviously we've talked about it, design people make story with the visuals, film people make story with film, music people make story and with their music, and they have to be able to tell their story. And that's what we talk about in our music classes a lot, that you have to be able to tell story. You've built this incredibly organic career already. And what advice would you give before we close with some music about being organic to yourself and telling story? Because you've done kind of a perfect career, from IHOP, grabbing the 9/11 operator, who knows how to put out fires, and your team, and Tim Capel is your lawyer, and you just have a great squad. Obviously, building a good team is part of that answer, but what else would you have to say?
I think just, Tavia, I think you could go first on that. She has so much
She is
advice.
a professor, after all.
She
Loyola
has so
University.
much advice for all of us, and we look to her a lot.
Something I tell Tank all the time is don't search for outside validation. It's great to get the award, but the validation is the people you touch, the people you inspire, you know, by staying true to yourself and who you are, and that's even advice for myself. And also just making sure you're surrounded by people who see the light in you when you don't see yourself. When you're in an industry like this, it's a very competitive industry. You hear a lot of no's before you get to the big yeses, and you need to stay uplifted to continue the journey. So the people around you are very important. I tend to think that the people around you is a reflection of what's happening in front of you. So I think that's like one of the most important things to do. I mean, for me, that's what I think about.
That's great.
I love that. And just go your own way. We have a new song, Go Your Own Way. I love that song.
You and Stevie Nicks doing it.
It's like, just go your own way, and the moment will come to you. And honestly, I think Omarion said it to his girlfriend years ago, and we laugh about it, but it's true. Sharpen up and wait for your moment. That's what he told his girl.
Sharpen up and wait for your
Sharpen
moment?
up and wait for your
By
moment.
the way, that is words to live by for you people. Sharpen up and wait for your moment.
And don't compare someone else's moment to yours. Don't try to steal joy. It's too free. And have a good time just living in the body that God gave you, and truly go your own way. And you're gonna pick up amazing people on your journey and have a good time. We just honestly started feeling like work to us, because we just been having so much fun. Even when we lived in London, we didn't care that our van had broke down, that we didn't have no money, that when we went to live out there, that the Airbnb never answered his phone, the Airbnb never answered their phone, that we lived on where do we live?
In a drum shed.
In a drum shed with all type of tools above our face. We just laughed at every moment because we just thought, man, this is going to be a really funny story someday. It'd be cool if you could actually apply that to your everyday living. This is going to be a great story someday.
Give it up, everybody. All right, so this piece, again, it closes your record. What's it called?
Am I Still New Orleans?
It's a beautiful piece. Give it up, everybody, for Tank. Grammy winning, I should say, Tank.
And I think,
you ready to do this Robert Glasper original? All right, no pressure. Okay. Am I still New Orleans? Am I still New Orleans? If I can't second line. If my feet don't dance and my back don't bend and my hands don't clap to the beat. And I like the heat of the summer, the smell of Jazz Fest. If I dance in the rain with the white folk in my Sunday's best. What if my pralines don't taste as sweet? And I can't sew my Indian feathers on or catch falling beads? What if I hate Bourbon Street? Or don't speak the way you speak, or they speak, or they speak? Am I still New Orleans? If I never felt super on Sunday? If I spend my Sundays passing out communion and cranberry juice and singing high, watching the floor crack open, only to see heaven inside? Because watching the children baptized and the steppers was the most magic I ever saw on this side. Once made God look twice. Then he'd leave to watch them come outside. Tell me, am I still an Orleanian if I don't suck the head out the crawfish and lick the brown stuff from the crack? Am I still worthy of gold beads around my neck if I only cried once at a Saints game? Am I still considered a fan If I don't bleed black and gold or carry a fleur-de-lis flag, am I still seen as whole? A saint with a bit too much sin on her hands, am I still New Orleans? If I can't make the rule, if my stew not as brown, what if I never been to Jeans or listened to Q93 or spent a hole in the wall or stood still when they asked me to catch the wall? Am I still New Orleans? Like, what if I don't like jazz or listen to brass or shake my ass or loudly laugh? What if I can't shake or cook or bake or make it to the second line or ride on the lake 5 times or know my way? Cause they say the city's a circle. I don't know how to get on Broad and Royal. Am I still New Orleans? Am I still home? If I came back after the storm, if I didn't lose anything but my way. Okay now. That gave me chills. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Feels so special. Thank you.
Thank Paul, Jordan Bush, AJ Haynes, Miss Tavia, Professor Tavia. Welcome to our first SuperForum ever. Thank you guys, and have a good night, everybody. Take care.